Chapters 20 and 21 of Frankenstein, we really start to see this conflict play out. And eventually in chapter 21, things start to get serious. In chapter 20, we learn that Victor is working on this other creature. He's very worried. He's scared for his future. He doesn't know what's going to happen with this creature. But as he's creating this second creature for the monster, he says, I trembled and my heart failed within me. When, on looking up, I saw by the light of the moon the demon at the casement. A ghastly grin wrinkled his lips as he gazed on me, where I sat fulfilling the task which he had allotted me. So not only has he been watching from the window, but he's kind of smiling at him, and it's creeping him out. It's kind of like if you've ever seen Freddy Krueger and you turn the corner and there he is just grinning at you with that ghastly, gross face. That is what Victor feels. We again see this kind of role of women. The second creature is destroyed by Victor. And so again, silent, victim, passive. That night he decides he has to get rid of the body. Now, mind you that every body he has obtained has been from grave robbing. He stole these bodies. And he decides to get rid of it. So he goes out to the ocean and throws all of the remains of this second creation in the water. But unfortunately, he falls asleep and wakes up in the boat, and the boat will not go to shore because the winds are so bad. So when he does reach shore later, he's basically confronted with a group of townspeople, and they believe he's responsible for a murder that happened that night. So we don't know what the murder is or who the murderer is, but Victor has been accused. That kind of leads us to chapter 21. A dead man appears on the shore. He had apparently been strangled, for there was no sign of any violence except the black marks of fingers around his neck. Eventually you find out this is Henry, and Henry has been murdered. Now back in chapter 20, he had reached out to Victor through letter and said, we should really continue traveling. I'm in Scotland. We should continue our trip. But unfortunately that trip is cut short. We also see some irony here. The irony that Victor's innocent, that he didn't kill Henry, but he created the monster that killed Henry. Victor was bedbound and nursed back to health by Henry. Now he's repaid Henry with murder. So it's interesting because Victor isn't directly responsible, but he is responsible for Henry's death. So do you think that Henry deserved to die? Why do you think, because they are foil characters, who should have had the rightful death? It's not fair for Henry to be pushed into this role. And mind you, at this point in the novel, no one even knows about the creature that Victor has created. None of his close friends, none of his family know. So he's getting very, very mad, more like the mad scientist type.